Yes, I'm late. I'm late today, family, yet I think you can forgive a sister. This with the Great Pyramids. How about that? How about, let me get situated. Yeah, so that I'm right in between the pyramids. Ooh, honey. Let me get a clubhouse. Honey. Today was quite the adventure. Quite the adventure. Good morning. How you loving, Yolanda? I figured y'all didn't mind if I was a little bit late. If I bring y'all something good, if I bring y'all the pyramids, how about that? I'll bring y'all the pyramids. Let me see if I can bring y'all the Sphinx too. Let me find the Sphinx. Is right here in between these two buildings. Let me see if I get the Sphinx too. Let's see. Come on, Sphinx. We can do this. Let's see. Sphinx. There. I might have to come a little bit into the sun for you to see the Sphinx. Do you see it right there? Right there, the head. I wish I could zoom in. I wish I could zoom in. Let me come a little further. You see the head? Right there. Tell me if y'all see the head of the Sphinx. Yeah, I better get back in the Wi-Fi zone. I can bring the pyramids. Yes. Let me come out of the pyramids a little bit. Whoever thought I'd be doing a live stream? Let me get Clubhouse. Let me get Clubhouse, family, because this is unreal. Let me get Clubhouse. You got all three. Boom, boom, boom. You got three. You got three. You got all three. You better call everyone and your mama in here. I'm going to now call in our Clubhouse peeps. So come on, share the room, share the vid, share, smash up the likes. If you're brand new here, I'm Reverend Valerie Love, and I am what you would call a divine midwife of soul destiny. Pardon me. That's who I am. It's what I do. So let me start our room. Let's see. Give me a minute because we're going to bring in our Clubhouse peeps too. Ah, let's start a room. ACIM. Pardon me. Is this amazing or what? Do a little meditation. If you've never been to the Great Pyramids of Giza, you're here now with me. 229. 229. Let's see if I can get a pyramid emoji to go on here. Thank you for being patient with me today. I had to gather some stuff for the Great Pyramid. I had to gather some stuff today. What's today? Is today Tuesday or Wednesday? Hola! What is today? Because family, I don't even know. Is today Tuesday or is it Wednesday? Is it Tuesday or Wednesday, family? Can you tell me? I'm not kidding. Can you tell me what it is if it's Tuesday or Wednesday? We're getting started in just a moment. This is unusual for me. Isn't this so freaking awesome, God's garden girl? You're at the Great Pyramids of Giza. Come on. Let me see if I can get our peeps together. Thank you for being patient with me while I pull up. It's Wednesday. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So so I know who the mods are in our clubhouse room. Now, all of this is set up normally by my incredible assistant, Kanessa. Kanessa is freaking awesome. Yet, um, I kind of went off the plan. So Kanessa's like, what's happening? I'm kind of off the plan, Kanessa. I'm kind of off the plan. But you know, I'm still on the plan because you can't be off the plan, can you? Okay, it's right now. So today's the 17th, and the time is right now. We're gonna do 7:30. What time is it? 7:20. We're gonna do 7:30 a.m. And I'm gonna start the room right now. Oh my God, replays are on. Okay. Oh, it says this conversation has ended. Okay. Up next today at 1 o'clock. Okay. Okay. Very good. I can start the room. So strange. Today I'm gonna do 1:30. Pardon me while I get this tech together because okay, start the room. Can you believe it, Soul Whisperer? Look at where we are, Soul Whisperer. Look at where we are, family. Thank you for being patient with me today because today I'm all over the place. Today I'm all over the place. Hey, Harmony.
Hi, there was no room for me to start. It was weird.
So strange. And when I went to try to get another room, it was like, I don't know, How you loving? Oh my God. Can you believe it? Max, can you believe it? Um, Egypt is not done with me yet. So I'm in the flow of Egypt. Max said, hey, come to Italy. And guess what, Max? Over the weekend, I was with a few people and they were in Italy. They're from Italy. And I'm like, oh, my friend is there. He said, hop over. And they're like, yeah, it's only like 4 hours flight. They were from Italy. And Egypt is not done with me yet. I if it's done with me before you skedaddle, you know I'm gonna hop over there too, Max. Max said, "Come to Italy." Oh my God. Oh my God. Family, I'm just happy we made it. Oh my God. Soul Whisperer, family, if I can tell you something, Egypt is beyond, beyond, beyond. I could not have imagined what was going to be on tap in Egypt. So I beg your forgiveness for being late today to honor my commitment. So I figured I had to bring you something good. So I'm bringing you the pyramids of Giza. Is that okay? It's a consolation for me being late today. That's my way of apologizing and begging forgiveness that I am still honoring my commitment this morning. Yet I am not at the 7 a.m. time. I'm still here. I am still here. Okay. We on
I think
every
the 7 o'clock hour counts.
oh, the 7 o'clock hour counts, huh, Harmony? Oh, Harmony, you blessing my soul right now.
Yes.
Thank you, Harmony. Thank you. You blessing my soul. All right, we are in the 7 o'clock hour. So we are good, Harmony said. Miriam said, Rev, you are glowing and beautiful. And Miriam, do you want to know something interesting? I have not put on a lick of makeup since I've been here. Like 1 or 2 days, I put on like a little powder and I put on eyebrows one day and I put on lipstick, not even lipstick because it's too freaking hot for lipstick. I think it'd just slide right. Feels so good. I feel alive. That's what the motherland does for you. The motherland will make you feel alive. And the revelations that I've been having since I've been here, astounding. I understand what Alicia Keys said. She said that her life was all over the place. And then she came to Egypt and she realized, boom, this is my direction. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is, if you really want to get deeply in touch with your soul and what you're really here to do, That's what this place will do for you among so much more. And it is so jaw dropping. I mean, every step is so astounding. It's beyond words. So let's just breathe in the ancient, sacred energy of Egypt. Let's just breathe in and root in to magic. Let's root into the place where the great, 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 great forebear of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam walked, the great Abraham and his wife Sarah, and his wife Hagar, an Ethiopian woman. Let's just root in and breathe into the ancient wisdom of the Nile. Root into it, breathe into it, root into it, know that you are watched over by the Sphinx, the guardian of the gateway. Feel it, tap into it, root yourself spiritually, root yourself in a foundation that is sure and enduring like the pyramids, not built with human hands. Feel it, feel it. Anyone who requires this meditation, share this video with them because this is the place of magic right here, right now. This is it. Tell yourself, as a Christian witch, as a practicing magician, a witch, a wizard, a warlock, as a magical being, tell yourself that you are rooted into and you are tapping into magic. And Egypt is where we do that like few other places on the planet. We do it in Sedona, we do it in Salem, we do it in certain hot spots where the energy is high and palpable and the magic is real and old. The magic is old. Tap in, and it's Witchy Wednesday. Whoo, hallelujah. Tap in. Great Spirit, we know that it is the divine that brought us to this moment in time, these souls together right here in front of the great pyramids of Giza, standing here in the sight of the Sphinx, mapping magic and our mystical origins as a species, and tapping even into beyond our planet, this beautiful Earth Gaia, tapping into the solar energies, the lunar energies, the stellar energies, the galactic energies, and the cosmic energies, so that we draw from, and planetary energies, pardon me, planets, planetary energies, so that we connect with the planets, the stars, the sun, the moon, the galaxy, and the cosmos. Vibe us up, spirit. So motivate. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Now, family, I'm going to tell you something about Egypt. Beside it being hot, it is quite dusty because you see we're in the desert. That's all sand back there. And then there are houses also. So, a lot is going on here. This is Cairo. So, if in the middle of anything you hear the call to prayer, which you may, it's an Islamic country, be aware. If you hear singing, that's the reading of the Quran, it's all good, that adds. If you hear honking and ambient sounds, I cannot promise you the audio quality of this video. I just want to make that clear. This is Cairo, Egypt. Jocelyn, thank you so much, Jocelyn. Jocelyn said you showed up. That's all that matters. Whew, thank you. Miriam, the food. I do love food, and it's not my favorite food. My Italian friend that I met on the road said Egypt has bad food, but that's coming from an Italian person. They're way up here on the food judging paradigm. And they do have something called Tutankhamun's. What do they call it? They don't call it Montezuma's Revenge like they do in Mexico. In Mexico, they call it Montezuma's Revenge when your belly gets a little woo woo. Here they call it Tutankhamun's curse, I think, like Curse of Tutankhamun. That's the belly, and you get a little bit of extra bathroom activity, I'll call it. And the other thing about this place is water. It's like Mexico. You don't drink the water, so they tell you don't even brush your teeth with the water. I was like, oops. So I mean, it's just like Kenya. Same thing when I came to Kenya. Don't brush your teeth with the water in the bathroom. Just well, I'm showering, and it's like your skin is the biggest way of drinking things in. So whatever. I'm divinely protected. You're divinely protected. That's all that matters. Let's go on screen share, family, and get to our lesson for today. Enough with the conversation. Let's get to the business at hand. And that would be A Course in Miracles, lesson 29. 229. Oh my God, 29. I'm back in January. Lesson 229. Love, which created me, is what I am. Say it to yourself. Love, which created me, is what I am. If you're new here, we are in a 365-day marathon on which we're near 229. I had a chuckle thought the other day, but I thought to myself that people go on Zoom and they put backgrounds behind them of where they want to be rather than taking themselves to the place they want to be. Very strange. Why are we doing this? This is not a background. These are actually the pyramids of Giza. Stop doing that. Stop putting some kind of background on your Zoom when you're sitting in your bedroom with an unmade bed. I don't know what we're doing. But anyway, so if you're new here, hi, Reverend Valerie Love, and welcome to 365 Days Straight of A Course in Miracles, generally at 7 a.m. Eastern Time today, still in the 7 hour, let's call it. So thank you for being here. We love you. We appreciate you. Love, and I'm coming to you from live from Egypt, Cairo, Egypt today. Love, which created me, is what I am. See my own identity, capital I, and find it in these words. Love, which created me, is what I am. Tell yourself, love, which created me, is what I am. Tell yourself, love, which created me, is what I am. We're not confused about our identity. Now need I seek no more. There's nothing to look for. There's nothing you lost. There's nothing missing. You don't need to search. You found it. Love has prevailed. You are loved, and it is here now. So still it waited for my coming home. The love was here all along, still awaiting a return, holding presents for you, always and forever. That I will turn away no longer from the holy face of Christ. We turned away, we ran. We were looking for love in all the wrong places. We were looking for people to save us. We were looking for things to save us. We were looking for money to save us. We were looking for the next boo to love us. We were looking. The Course says, search no more. It's here. It's always been here. We are now no longer turning away from the face of Christ. And when I look upon, attest the true identity, the truth of the identity I sought to lose. but which my Father has kept safe for me. Mm. So your identity has been kept safe. It's been kept safe for you. Here is our prayer. Father, Mother, my thanks to you for what I am. Ooh, Spirit. My thanks to you for what I am. God kept you untouched and sinless, just like Tutankhamun's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful coffin I just saw, made of pure gold, untouched. And another coffin inside that coffin made of pure solid gold, untouched. You're talking thousands of years later, untouched. That your identity remains countless time later and even beyond time untouched. Untouched. In the midst of all the thoughts of sin, my foolish mind made up. We were told you're born in sin, you're gonna die in sin. The best you can do is worship and pray and do things right and don't sex this person and don't do this and don't do that and maybe you'll get a chance to get to the pearly gates. Hopefully Peter will let you in. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. That's glory is heaven. Heaven is your consciousness. Heaven is a condition. Thanks to you for saving me from them. Thanks to our Mother, Father, God, our source, for saving us from the foolish ideas and thoughts we made up about ourselves. Amen. Let's breathe. Let's breathe. Let's breathe. And let go of all the thoughts you made up about yourself, all the can'ts, all the shoulds, shouldn'ts. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that. All the guilt. Let go of all of it. Just let it blow away in the wind. Let it burn away. Let it wash away. Just let it go. You don't need it anymore. Because love, which has been present all along, kept your identity safe in the stillness that it is. Love is the stillness that kept your identity and your sinlessness and your holiness safe. Love is it. And we're coming home to love. Like Marianne Williamson said, it's a return to love. I want to direct your attention to something behind me, these great pyramids. Do you see over here next to this pyramid? Let me go. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can get it right. No. Right here. Do you see this little pyramid right here? This is a set of three pyramids. Do you see these three pyramids right here? Now, of course, these three, this one, this one, this one, uh, the three, you are Love God's Garden Girl, that's right. These three pyramids are the pyramids not built by human hands. Um, you can determine that for yourself once you get here. We'll be coming here in September, August, September of 2023. Now that I know what I know, I'm going to ask our VIP members if they want to come here in August or September, because in August everything's half price. It's slated for September. And we're going to ask the VIP members if they'd rather do August, because August all the monuments are half price because it's considered summer. September starts regular price. So we have a choice. Anyway, these three pyramids not built with human hands, right? This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Not built with human hands. You can determine that once you get here. These little tiny ones over here, the ones that I showed you, right there. Do you see these tiny little ones right here? I have my finger pointed right to them. The Tell me what these look like. Do these look like these? You tell me. Let's just do a vote and just put it in the comments on YouTube. Christian Witch's YouTube channel and the Valerie Love YouTube channel. By the way, Christian Witch's YouTube channel. For all the new Christian witches that we have on the YouTube channel, welcome. That channel is growing subscribers every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. I love it. I love it. I love it. Put it in the chat and tell me if this pyramid, and this pyramid, if the three of them look the same as these ones right here. See that I have my hand right on top. Okay, Black woman stand up said no. Okay, just tell me, family, what are your thoughts? Just tell me. No, what's the difference? What do you see? First of all, these are falling down. Let me show you. These, they're falling down. Are these falling down? Sounds of sweetness, they're huge. That's right. These are huge. These are not. Just little ones right here. Right? So these three are huge. And you cannot fathom how huge they are, because when you stand at the bottom and you look up, I think it's about 100 and over 100 meters high. I think over 140, 150 meters high. Probably more than that. Okay. What else do you notice? Tell me about the symmetry of this one, and this one. Two super large and smaller, not so clear. Okay. So these three, not built by human hands. This one is actually as big as the others, somewhat. It's just that the distance makes them look different. No, they do not look the same. Interesting, A. Carter. Carter. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're not the same. So when you come here, you are going to see the Great Pyramids of Giza. The shapes of the three are perfect. Come on, sounds of sweetness. Yes, they are absolute precision, perfection, lined actually for the three sisters, stars in heaven. They also are on the same exact 15-degree axis as Teotihuacan. Now let me bring up Teotihuacan, and I want to show you, look at this, and then I want to show you a picture of Teotihuacan. So we're going to go over to Teotihuacan, which I was there not too long ago, and I want you to look at Teotihuacan and the pyramids. Let me put the pyramids. I don't want the map of Teotihuacan. Let me put Teotihuacan pyramids, because at Teotihuacan we have the pyramid of the sun and the pyramid of the moon. Okay, let's look. Let me pick one of these. Okay, let's get one of the pyramids. This is one of the altars in front of the pyramid. Let's see if I can get you the exact picture of Teotihuacan. I think this is the Temple of the Moon. Okay. Are you seeing Teotihuacan? Are you seeing precision? Tell me if you're seeing precision. And you can see tiny people standing up there. Okay, you see precision. Very good. Okay, now let me show you Chichen Itza. Let me show you the Chichen Itza pyramids. Okay, here's Chichen Itza. And do you see precision here with Chichen Itza as well? This is why you've got to go to these. You've got to. If you're a spiritual seeker and you don't go to ancient civilizations, I don't know, I'm going to take your card from you, your spiritual seeker card. I'm going to take it from you. What do you see?
Wait a minute.
Only because they hold all the secrets that you're looking for. They hold them all. And if you just stand in them, you're going to get some kind of activation. Then you're going to go back and you're going to be a super magician, super manifester, right? I mean, why are we coming? We're not coming just to torture ourselves, right? With climbing all over an ancient city. I mean, these ancient cities are hard to fathom. What do you see? Do you see precision? family, do you see precision with Teotihuacan? This is Chichen Itza. Chichen Itza, exactly 9 steps, and it is precise. Let me look on the chat and see what's happening on the chat. Hey, G Wife too. Welcome back. Welcome back. The shape of the three are perfect. Okay, so tell me, family, what did you see with regard to Giza, Teotihuacan, and Chichen Itza? What did you see? What did you see? Just let us know what you saw. Because I'm going to tell you what I saw. I want to know what you saw. Because I'm not here to tell anyone what to think. And I'm not here, they're not made by human means. Boom. Ding, 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 ding. Celine said it. They all look brand new. Boom. They're all thousands of years old. Okay. Celine knocked the ball out the park. She said they are not made by human means. Nature should have taken them out by now. Wouldn't you think the sand, the wind, the rain in some of the places? No rain here. It doesn't rain here once a year, once every 2 years. Chichen Itza, for sure. Where I live, where I have a home, in the shadow of Chichen Itza. I live not very far from Chichen Itza. I live in, my home is in Maya, in the land of the Maya. Where I live, if you don't cut the bushes every 10 minutes, they will gobble your house. Like we live in the Yucatan. The Yucatan is like the jungle, it's like the Amazon. If you don't cut back the grass and the trees and the bushes, they will just gobble us up in like 10 minutes. The stuff is growing like this because you have moisture, you have water, the Yucatan Peninsula, or the Yucatan, that whole Yucatan. So now you tell me, how have these survived for thousands of years, looking untouched, pretty much? Some of the veneer maybe looking almost untouched. And how did they get the exact precision to the stars before we had astronomy? This is supposedly built by people that didn't know anything about astronomy. You have to really start to question the narrative. Now, I'm going to show you one more thing that I took pictures of today in the Egyptian Museum where we're going to be together when you come here. They insist on telling you that these were not black people. And I want you to look at this face right here. Does that look like a black woman? Look at the hair. Now, this is an ancient, this is an old. Does this look like a black woman? I can actually show you some black women that look like this today. Let me show you a better picture. Here's a much better one because I took her picture from her profile. Does this look like a black woman? That looked like a black woman all day long. Okay, straight up black woman. But they're trying to tell you. Okay, let me show you a picture of Tutankhamun. Here's Tutankhamun. Does he look like a black person? Straight up black, high cheekbones, straight up African. But they're trying to tell you something other than that. That's what they're trying to tell you. That's what they're trying to tell you. And I'm not saying this to diss any other culture at all, because I don't even think black people came up with the pyramids. I don't. My take on it is exactly, probably very similar to Billy Carter. I'm putting all this in my book. They should have never brought a black Christian witch to Egypt. Should have never done it, because all this is going in the book. And I will show you the faces, the lips, the eyes, all of it. I took my own pictures and video so I could have it all documented. I went into the temples to see it for myself. Oh, you want to say some ancient Egyptian porn? I got some of that for you too, because oh man, they got so much porn. Y'all Y'all don't know nothing about porn until you see some ancient Egyptian porn. Here, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to show you. This is an actual hieroglyphic. This is it. This is ancient Egyptian porn. Do you see this? Look at this. That thing looks dangerous. This is a black man. Maybe he was the village dancer or something. Okay, that's hieroglyphs. I bet you never saw that in a hieroglyphic book, did you?
For sacred sexuality.
I said, I have to take a picture of this because no one will believe me. Even if I tell y'all the story, y'all, there's a hieroglyphic of this man with this big, huge thing. Y'all be like, there go Kaisi with her stories. I had to take a picture. Otherwise, y'all would have said, oh, you make up the story now, Kaisi. I'm telling you, come see it for yourself. You cannot believe you've been to Chichen Itza. There is no way that it was made by humans. There you go, Jocelyn. There you go. You've got to see it for yourself, family. And then there will be no Christian, there will be no church, there will be no pastor that will tell you what to do and tell you about their studies and their theologian studies. Go see for yourself. Study to show thyself approved. Go see it for yourself. Come to your own conclusions. I promise you, it's not what they told you. I promise you, it's not what they told you. I do agree with Billy Carson that there must be a stellar influence here, star people. Has to be star people because the precision of the ley lines under the earth with Chichen Itza, Stonehenge, the pyramids. These are not the only pyramids we have. We have pyramids all over the world. Matter of fact, right here, there are 9 pyramids, but people only think that there are 3 because the 3 are the big ancient ones that were not made by human hands. Now, my guide told me, and he's Islamic, he told me that he believes it was built by magic because Solomon and many of the magicians, Egypt has some powerful magicians. I mean, I think they could raise the dead. He believes that they had some kind of magic. Or if you don't like the word magic, if you're too scientific for the word magic, some kind of technology that we did not have access to or that we don't know about yet, even a sound technology or an energy technology that could lift things. Now, you're talking here in this great pyramid right here, there's over 1 million blocks, and each block weighs something like 20 tons. And there's over 1 million of them. One in one. And you're telling me that humans made it and still they still can't figure out how humans made it. Yet it will not stop them. This is what you want to watch out for. It will not stop them from spouting a story to you with perfect certainty. Do you understand that people spout stories to you with perfect certainty that are not so at all? Someone made it up. Do you know someone made up most of the things that they tell you? I was walking through listening to these guides. I'm like, they fucking make this shit up. And if you are a student and you study and you examine and you explore and you research for yourself, I mean, I'm just one of these relentless, I have to know. I have to know. I have to know where it came from. I have to know how magic works. I have to know how I'm wherever I'm led, I'm going. And I was led all up and down the Nile to these temples because they have secrets in them. And I found a bunch of them, and they're going in the book. They're going in the books. It's a pyramid built over a pyramid, built over a pyramid as a calendar. Humans would never get that right. Jocelyn, what is astounding? Pyramid inside of a pyramid inside of a pyramid inside of a pyramid, like nesting dolls. Same thing with the quote unquote mummies. a coffin nested in a coffin, nested in a coffin. Unbelievable. You will not believe what's here in Egypt. Unbelievable. So I'm going to be bringing all this to you in great detail along with the hieroglyphs. I got myself a cartouche. Now, before, regular people couldn't get cartouches. They were only for the king. And I think it was kind of even against the law for you to have a cartouche with your name on it. A cartouche is your name is in hieroglyphics. And why was it that you had this cartouche? You had the cartouche because your name was one of the five aspects of the human, your name, and your name held your essence. So you see the cartouche of the king or the queen. And guarding the cartouche, you would see their god or goddess that they were connected to. Like we call him Tutankhamun. Isn't that what we call him? Tutankhamun sounds like his name is Ankh Amun. Tut Ankh Amun. Ankh, key of life. Amun for Amun Ra. This is a child. He's telling you in his name who he is. And all of the kings and queens had their name hooked to a divine being. If you don't have a name that's hooked to a divine being, give yourself one that reflects the divine being you're connected with, because all of them, all of their names were. Why do you think so many kings, queens, their name had Amun in it or Ra? Or one of them had in it, two of them actually had in it Akhenaten. Aten, the Aten. Akhenaten was one of was the criminal king or the rebel king. He was the one that said, "Hey guys, it's not a whole bunch of gods; it's one god." And they wanted to run him out of town for that. They were like, "Oh, you're crazy! No!" And then he came back with, "No, I'm not crazy, and I'm closing all your temples because I'm now the king." So, how he went about his revelation and his epiphany, I question what it means, yet he knew that there was the one. And I'm going to show you the papyrus I bought. I'll show it to you tomorrow. I bought some papyrus for my sacred space. So Tutankhamun and Tutankhamun, before he was Tutankhamun, he was Tutankhaten, Tutankhaten, and then he went to Tutankhamun. Why? Because his father, who was they called the criminal of Amarna, who was the one who went off the rails, the king that everybody said went off the rails. And then they came back later and they were trying to scrub out his name. They chiseled out his name out of things. When they didn't like you, they came behind all your temples and all your stuff and they chiseled out your name. So no one ever knew about Akhenaten until recently, like 1800s, 1900s, is when we found Akhenaten, because they were like, "Hey, he's not even on the business. We're getting rid of him." So now we understand him differently. So anyway, he is the father of Tutankhamen, and when he was born, they named him Tutankhaten, and then to represent the god I worship. Just like Yuya, who is right here in the Egyptian Museum, you can still see his face. That's how well preserved his mummy is. He is who I believe to be the biblical Joseph. Yusuf, Yuya, Joseph. And Joseph had a daughter, and her name was Tai, and she married Amenhotep III. All those stories you read in the Bible, they have a basis right here in Egypt. And they got married. Amenhotep III and Queen Tai, Tiye, had Amenhotep the fourth, except he Amun, see the name at the beginning or the name at the end of the god. Amenhotep the fourth, except he changed his name. He was like, "No, I'm not with Amun Ra. I'm not with any of the gods and goddesses. It's the Aten. And the Aten or the Atun is one. He, who I believe to be the biblical Moses, because we can't find Moses anywhere. We can't find Moses anywhere. Where's Moses? We can't find Moses. We can't find all the things that they were talking about Moses did. We can't find it. Yet, what we do find is a person that looks suspiciously like Moses, took his people into the wilderness, dwelled in the wilderness, left Egypt, believed in this one God. Moses was also a revolutionary if you really think about it. Moses was a revolutionary because Moses said there is one God. And supposedly, Moses was born to an Israelite woman, right? That's what it says in the Bible. Now, that is actually somewhat accurate because if Akhenaten is truly the biblical Moses and his mother was Queen Tai, who would have been Joseph's daughter, remember the Bible chronology, you can't take the Bible chronology for exactly as it is because they kind of move things around. So I know you're going to think Moses is the grandchild of Joseph. You got it mixed up, Kaisi. I'm giving it to you how it came in Egypt. The Bible has a different chronology and a different genealogy. And we can't even agree on the genealogy in the Bible because the Bible has different genealogies for the same people. So if you read the four Gospels, they give you different genealogies, even for Jesus. So I don't take the Bible as supposed to be some kind of factual historical book. I take the Bible as being a book of wisdom and energy and magic and mysticism and allegory. It's mythology, it's a story. It teaches you something deeper, yet it also has very powerful energy. It calibrates very, very, very high, these books all put together. You know, these are a lot of books from a lot of different places. So, Black people, I want you to know something. Oh, you should check out Matthias De Stefano. He is fascinating to listen to. I like him. Yeah, I like him. Kristen, I'm hearing a lot of symbology through numbers, 3, 9, etc. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, Kristen, when you really examine the Bible has certain numbers that recur over and over and over and over. 3, over and over and over. 7, over and over and over for the seven planets. It's all astrological, and 12 over and over and over and over, and 40 over and over and over. You see those numbers, read the whole Bible and count how many times you find 3, 7, 12, and 40. You're going to find 9 fairly frequently too, because 9 is an extremely magical number. So if we go back to this story of Akhenaten, who I just saw his likeness in the Egyptian museum. They didn't find his mummy. If you look at Akhenaten and you look at Moses, could be one and the same person because everything they say of Moses pretty much is true of Akhenaten. Now, I'll tell you another thing about Akhenaten, and I said this the other day. Remember how she hid Moses in the reeds in the Nile River? Well, Queen Tai, they say, also hid her son, who was Amenhotep slash Amenhotep the Fourth slash Akhenaten. He changed his name to reflect the God he loved and who he thought was God. If you look at Queen Tai and her being from the Israelites, they were not Jews yet. That didn't happen until like the 6th century. I'm talking about thousands of years ago. If you look at Queen Tai was of Joseph. Joseph was her father. And we know the Bible talks about Joseph and how he became a vizier and how he was so lauded in Egypt. And it's true. Because if you see his burial, it's like a king. Kid you not. His name was Yuya. And in here in Egypt, Joseph, the biblical Joseph, had a pharaoh's tomb. Kid you not. You can see it for yourself. Incredible. Anyway, and perfectly preserved. And we have his mummy. I just walked past his mummy today. Face, You can still see his face. You can still see his hair. That's how well he's preserved. Anyway, his daughter, Queen Tai, she was so beautiful, so fair, according to the story. And Amenhotep III loved her so much that he married her and he made her his queen. Now, how could he make an Israelite woman his queen? Because the queen had to be royal blood. So that tells you that she was mixed. She had royal blood in her from Joseph's bloodline somehow. Well, she gave birth to a child, the first child that she gave birth to, and they wanted he was a boy. So this Amenhotep the third, whom we believe is the biblical Solomon. I know Joseph is Solomon's father-in-law, as Solomon is the father of Moses. What? I know. It's yet I'm going to break it all down for you in the book. Anyway, Queen Ty, when she had her first child, they offed him because Amenhotep III wanted to make this son of his queen, his beloved queen, the heir apparent, and the high priests weren't having it because they did not regard Queen Ty as being royal, of royal blood. And the royal lineage went through the female, the mother is matriarchal. Just like most things in Africa, it's matriarchal. From the elephants to it's matriarchal. So you couldn't have a father. It didn't matter if your father was the pharaoh. Your mother had to be royal in order for you to rule. So it was through the mother's womb that they carried the royal lineage. And it didn't matter who the daddy was, as long as the mother was royal, then the person could ascend to the throne. Well, if, and you know, the pharaohs had three, four, five, sometimes 100, 300 wives. So this pharaoh, of course, he had many wives. He was Solomon. I mean, he had hundreds of wives. They say maybe 1,000 wives. And so beautiful. Like, just a whole huge harem. I mean, this man is rich, dripping in gold and everything. Super rich. Super, super, super duper rich. Like the sheiks has nothing on King Solomon slash Amenhotep the third. Look him up. And what he did was he built this incredible palace, just like in the Bible, an incredible temple, just like in the Bible. And he had a wife, of course, many wives, just like in the Bible. And his wives worshiped many gods, just like in the Bible. So, anyway, just follow the breadcrumbs, they're all there for you. So, when it came time to, you know, select the heir, they knocked off the first kid. You know, it was very dangerous to be an heir back in the day because, you know, if your father died and you were young, like 8 or 9, and they were about to make you the king, you were definitely going to get knocked off. Somebody was going to put some poison in your wine or something because kids was drinking wine back then, right? They're going to knock you over the head. You know, we have mummies with head knocks. They're going to bump you off. Right? Especially if you was one of these Ptolemies, man. These Ptolemy 6 and 7 and 8. Ptolemy A killed his nephew, then one killed his other one, and I mean they just knocking each other off to get to the throne. One of the Ptolemy's wives, one of the Cleopatras, there were 7 Cleopatras. One of the Cleopatras, I think it was in Cleopatra, one of them knocked off her mother. I'm like, what were these people thinking? What were they doing? But anyway, that's another story for another day. I'm gonna write about the Ptolemies too. But anyway, so they knocked off her first kid. And so when she had the baby, she was terrified. When she had the baby, not Tutankhamun, that was her grandson. When she had Akhenaten, Amenhotep the fourth is what they named him. Amenhotep, when she had Amenhotep the fourth, Moses, she was afraid for his life. They had already killed her other kid. So she said, I, he was in the royal palace only for a little while, and then she sent him away to be with her people, the Israelite people. She sent them away. So he thought he was Hebrew. He knew all, it's kind of reverse. Like in the Bible said, see, the Bible is not completely off with the story. In the Bible, it says that he was born royal, Moses. It says it. Well, actually, not that he was born royal. It's the flip. He was born to a lowly Hebrew woman, but then it was out there. Woo, it was out there in these royal streets. Let me tell you, Kristen, this is shocking. It's the actual reverse. So the Bible says Moses was born to a Hebrew woman who was afraid for her child's life because the Pharaoh at the time had ordered a genocide of all the Hebrew people. No record of it anywhere. No Pharaoh. But this is what we believe in Christianity. A Pharaoh went. It was a story. They made the story up and they told it to us, and we believed it. There wasn't no fire Pharaoh that killed all the Hebrew boys. He said, ordered. They put it in a movie. And everybody watches the movie and they believe it, just like they believe that a witch is going to come get them and a witch is green with a wart on her nose. Come on, people, stop believing fairy tales. We got to grow up. Okay? So she hid him. It's the exact story, and the way they told the story in the Bible, it's the same story. They just adjusted it for the Hebrew people. This is the Hebrews people's story. This is not our story. Unless you're Hebrew. If you're Hebrew, this is your story. And I promise you, every group of people has a story that's for yours. Don't let other people give you their story and make it your story. I don't know why Christians accepted the Hebrew story. That's not our story. They did a big smash up of the Bible in the 4th century, and they said, okay, this is the whole story here. No, it's not. So you want to understand where the Hebrew Bible came from. The Hebrew Bible is the story of the Hebrew people. It's their legends and their myths that have been circulated orally for many hundreds of years before they wrote it down in the 6th century when they were in captivity in Babylon. This is all documented. No pharaoh ever killed all the kids. So if there was no pharaoh that ever said anybody, no genocide ever happened, if there was no Pharaoh to go and kill all the Hebrew boys, how do we get the story of Moses? The story of Moses loses its validity because why would a Hebrew woman be afraid for her baby? There was a lot of Hebrew people living in Egypt at the time. Do you see why we have to make that story up? So they had to try to make these Egyptian legends fit the Bible, or they tried to make these Egyptian legends be their stories. So they repurposed them. It's what we all do. We all repurpose stories from a greater civilization. That's what we do. And I wouldn't even say a greater civilization, just a civilization. Well, let me put it this way: humanity is all repurposing the same story. We keep repurposing the same story, that there's a divine birth, there's a child, some kind of holy child with a divine parent from the stars. I mean, we keep telling the same story over and over again. So let's get back to Moses. There was never a genocide. If there was a genocide, when we find a bunch of babies, all mummified, wouldn't we find something? If we wouldn't we have found something if they were running around grabbing every baby two and under and just killing them? Egyptians didn't operate like that. They were not how do I want to say it? They were not, the Egyptians were methodical. They were not just people that would just willy nilly just run out and kill all the kids. Why? Because one of them might be the king one day. We already know who the Pharaoh is. This is the Pharaoh. And that's it. His son's going to be the Pharaoh as long as he has a royal mother. It wasn't a question that this king is going to, somebody's going to come and take my place. I mean, that's the Jesus story. You know, they were concerned of another, Herod was concerned of another ruler taking his place. This is not the Moses story. There's no Pharaoh questioning that maybe a kid was going to come and take his place. So you really have to question the Moses story. So there's no genocide. So that really pretty much wipes out the Moses story. So then where did it come from? We can't say it's total myth and legend. It came from somewhere. It did. And it makes perfect sense where it came from. So here's what happened. So Queen Ty sends her son away to the Israel people. See, the Israel Egypt connection was actually there. Sends her son away. This would have been Joseph's grandson. Sends her son away to live with the Hebrew people. Some people will call this complete crazy talk. And I would offer, examine it for yourself. Say her son away to live with his people in the Hebrew people in the land of war, sort of like Canaan in that area, right? Even though there are many Israel-like people, many Hebrew people that lived in Egypt and were prosperous and well, including Joseph. He was doing very well. He was a vizier. I mean, this man was top of the top. He was probably right second to the Pharaoh. Now, she sent him away, and then she brought him back when he was of age. And the rest of the time, he was raised in the royal palace. He was treated like the son of the Pharaoh, just like the Bible says. Moses was raised in the royal palace. He was treated like the Pharaoh. He was like a prince, because he really was a prince. Okay. Then he learns magic because he has a staff. You see magic staffs all over Egypt. And then he has a staff turned into an opera, which is common magic in Egypt. And of course, the Egyptian priests, they also had their staffs that turn into. This whole thing is from Egypt. The whole thing's from Egypt. So now, what happened? So she brought her son back. He became co-regent with his father. Co-regent means his father was ruling and he was ruling together for like 18, 19 years. And then after his father passed, then he's going to be the king, right? He was the king. He was, doing his own kind of worship and whatnot. But when he became the true 100% king, he was like, now listen, you know how they always get brand new, these kings and queens, you know, now listen, this is how it's going to go. I had a revelation like Constantine, he saw this big cross in the sky. They always have a revelation. Well, he had a revelation, and the revelation was so incredible that it's one God, it's the Aten. So Akhenaten slash Moses was critical and pivotal in humanity because he invented monotheism. There was no such thing as monotheism. There was no such thing as a one God concept to any ancient people, anywhere in the world, anywhere on the planet. If you talk to people about one God, they will look at you like, "What's wrong with you? We have a God of the tree. We have a God of this tree and a God of that tree. We have a God of the river. We have the God of that part of the river. We have gods for that part of the river. We got gods for everything up in here. Why? Because ancient people saw that everything was divine. There's a reason they thought that there was a God of this tree because they didn't have distractions, they didn't have, light bulbs, they didn't have blue light poisoning, all the things that we have now. They didn't have fluorescent light poisoning. They didn't have all of this technology. They weren't super distracted and moving at super speeds. They were much quieter. And when the sun went down. It's not really going down. Anyway, our perspective changes. Anyway, when the sun was done for the day, what did they do? They sat by a fire. They looked at the stars. They meditated. They were in tune with nature and the cycles and the season. Why? Because their life depended upon it. Your life doesn't depend on the cycles and seasons of nature because you're getting mangoes that are rock hard that they picked in December. And this is a mango. That's not a mango. That rock hard thing they got in the store, I don't know what that is. It's not a mango. So we're not in touch with any of that. Modern humans, we're nuts. were all over the place, were not in touch with truth. They were so in touch with the tree that they could see the divine living essence of the tree. They were so in touch with the stone that they could see, feel, intuit. They could see the divine essence of the stone. That's where the stone gods came from, the tree gods came from, because there are divine energies to everything. Is this making sense? Is this, I've been talking a lot. Let me pause for a minute. Is this making sense? You know, when you start to put the story together, family, it makes sense. A long time ago, something told me, don't throw out the Bible. I was like, okay, I got one with me right now. I got it with me. I take it all over the world. Don't throw out the Bible. You're going to need it. The Bible has been my steady guide. Don't throw out the Bible. And when we say the Bible, I don't mean the Bible that they said was the Bible in the fourth century and gave you. Here, this is the Bible. That's not my Bible. I'm talking about all the holy books, the Apocrypha, the Pseudepigrapha. Don't throw out those ancient holy books. Read them. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, all of this is coming to you in the. Oh, one more thing I'm going to tell you about. This will knock your socks off. Kristen, give this one to all your Christian friends and whatnot, and maybe have a conversation too with your mom and dad. I'd like to hear what they would love to share about this. Guess where the temple construction came from? Egypt. Why? Now that I've been in 50 million Egyptian temples, what do we have? We have the same thing. We have the courtyard. Does it sound familiar? We have the courtyard, we have the holy, and we have the most holy. Does it sound familiar? We have the Ark of God or the Ark of the Covenant inside the most holy. Does it sound familiar? Talk about Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. We have only the high priest can go into the most holy. Really? And they only go in like once a year or something like that. Okay. Come here. You see where the whole Bible came from. Does any of this sound familiar, family? You've been reading the Bible, but people want to talk about me about being a Christian witch. You can't tell me nothing. Nothing. You can't tell me anything because I know too much. For you to tell me how it goes. Now, you tell this to most Christians, it'll knock their most Christians can't even have this conversation with you. It'll knock their heads clean off their it just busts open their noggin. It absolutely makes a lot of sense. That's why I love studying history. It makes that's right. Me to put everything together like a puzzle. Thank you for sharing your experiences. Yes, come on, crypto butterfly. I love it. And for me, it matters. It matters. It matters. You know why it matters? This is our soul we're talking about. We're not talking about, oh, they just told us some stories in school and okay, go on about your life. This is your soul. Do you realize there are people that still think they're going to burn in hell if they pick up a crystal? Do you believe that there are so many people that are still terrified, petrified that one day they're going to go to hell? It was all made up. Free yourself. These are prisons. Free yourself. Free your mind. The rest will follow. I love you. And I'm happy to come to you from the Great Pyramids of Giza today. And thank you for giving me grace as I found my way through Cairo back to my space where I'm staying at until tomorrow. And then I'm off to the next adventure. We'll talk tomorrow about that adventure. And I'll show you the papyrus too if I have it out. I'll show you the papyrus tomorrow too. Or should I go and grab the papyrus right now? It's right down the. Should I go get the papyrus for you right now? I'm gonna get it for you right now. Just gaze at the pyramids for a minute. I'm gonna show you the papyrus. Be right back. might as well show it to you now, right? Okay, so they wrap it up for you, which is really nice. So when you come here, you can travel with this. You go in your suitcase. Alrighty. Here is the papyrus I got. Okay, I got a couple of them. Put up in my sacred space. These are a couple of tiny ones. I'll show you the tiny ones first. Let me show you this one first. Okay. This is Isis and Maya, as you can see. And this was found in Valley of the Kings from the tomb of Nefertari. Valley of the Queens. Valley of the Queens, not the Valley of the Kings. So there is Mayat, as you can see, the feathers, and Isis. Because Shiraz has a sun disk with the cow horns. This is Isis, as you know. And Mayat, of course, you know her, ostrich feather upon her head. You're always going to see Mayat with the ostrich feather. Let's go to the next one. I bought these two smaller ones, and I bought a couple of larger ones as well. This one is Queen Nefertari making offerings to Isis. Can you see this one? I'll show it to you really close. It's got beautiful colors on it. So I'm going to have these framed up. Those are smaller ones. Then this one, when I saw it, I was like, I have to have it. I have to have it. I have to have the eye. I have to have it. I have to have this one. I have to have it. Look at the color on that. And you know, the color is very, very, very accurate, because on some of the ancient tombs, you can still see the coloring. You can still see the coloring. Look at that. You know I'm going to have this as a tattoo, right? I'm going to put the eyes on me. The eyes are my next tattoos. Beautiful, isn't it? Cobra. This is two goddesses right here. This is the cobra and a vulture. And why cobra? Cobra is a powerful protector because cobra's eyes never close. Cobra's eyes never close. Excellent protector. Cobra's eyes are open 24/7. If you want a totem animal to put into your magic, cobra. If you want watchfulness, if you want to put something at the gate of your house or the gate of your sacred space or the gate of any place where you want continual 24/7 watchfulness, cobra. Cobra. Now this one is a larger one. I'll give you the larger view, and then I'll come up close and show it closer to you. So this one is Akhenaten. And does Akhenaten look like a giant to you? This is his wife, Nefertiti. This is Queen Nefertiti right here. Does Akhenaten look like a giant to you? He looks like a giant to me. So he could have been, I don't know, there could have still been giants on the planet then. And this is one of their daughters. By the way, he did have a sister named Mary Aten, beloved of the Aten. Could have been Miriam. Moses had a sister named brother, and a sister named Miriam, and a brother named Aaron. Is that incredible? Here you see, just to give you some of this sacred symbology, this is the lotus with the papyrus, the papyrus. The papyrus in the lotus, the lotus, papyrus, lotus, papyrus, lotus, papyrus. Do you see that? Makes a perfect offering because Just hit me. I could be there in front of those pyramids this time next year. You will be here. What? You will be here. Not could be, dear. You will be here. Yes, that's a yes. Yes, dear. Yes. And if you notice, since we talked so much about him because he is likely the biblical Moses, if you notice, he was the first one to have a God that didn't have a form. Do you see it? It looks like energy. Now on here, they make it like a sun because do you see it? It's energy. It's like rays coming down. Do you see that? And the rays had hands at the end, like they were blessing him and his family and blessing the earth and blessing the flowers. Do you see? And one of the hands is bearing the tree of life, the breath of life, the ankh. You see the ankh right there. You see the ankh up here. And then a cartouche. And if I look at this cartouche, it's likely that this is his name and his wife's name, Queen Nefertiti. So Queen Nefertiti was married to Akhenaten. Akhenaten, and Aten means beloved of the Aten or the Atun. He was the one who they call him the criminal of Marna. They call him the criminal king because once he got his revelation, he shut down everybody. He closed all the temples. He told them all, it's over. Now, I'm not surprised he did that because a lot of times, isn't it mind blowing, Anastasia? Mind blowing. It's just that you've been hearing these stories all your life, but no one ever told you these are Egyptian stories. They didn't tell you they were African stories, or even beyond being Egyptian and African, that they were interstellar stories. Because I do believe these are galactic stories. Um, don't throw out your Bible. That's all I can say about that. Do not throw out your Bible. Thank you for being here today. I freaking love you. Wow. Follow my Instagram. If we are not together on Instagram, follow my Instagram so you can get all these temples. Just look at them. Look at what I've been posting on Instagram. Unbelievable. The temples I've been seeking to keep up. I have more to catch up with for you for Instagram. Incredible. I'll see you tomorrow. Love you. Wow. Peace. Kaisi out. Valerie, love.